Masandawana, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Pitchside Podcast. Against all odds, they keep on going.
No, they deserve it. They deserve it.
No, congratulations to them.
DJ Katoto,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
I'm fantastic.
DJ Katoto.
And I still remind you, I can't see myself as a DJ. I don't know. Really? Unkakai, that name. I can say
the archives. Get the archives.
I still have to ask him for how did the name come about?
Because I was never on those decks or on the platform for the DJs and playing music. I was never that guy.
Nah,
in-house. I've got pictures of him at home.
When he travels, the headset, don't forget.
Skip our shop.
100, winner?
Top.
Yeah.
What I like the most is they keep 0 behind.
It's very important to keep 0 behind. We know that that is a build-up of the matches that are coming, and the different competition that Mamelodi Sundowns continue to participate in. That 0 behind should be a mantra of the team to say we're striving more on that. If we don't score, we don't concede. Of course, the goals will come. They've got players that they can turn up on each and match and do some business for the club. But I'm happy for the overall performance of the team, simply because I don't know if you remember, I told you that the matured performance they keep showing to us, that even in their success, they're still humble enough to understand.
When you speak of maturity, Skipper, you and I both being midfielders, what do you make about the continuous, consistent, exceptional performance from our midfield, the likes of Tebogo Mokoena and Marcelo Allende in that midfield, who have been solid both domestically and even in Champions League?
Big teams rely on midfielders, and big teams rely on midfielders that show up in every match. You don't play for a big team if you don't play consistently, because big teams win football matches. So you win when you're consistent. So those players, they show us that they're capable of winning football matches simply because they are consistent. It starts with you. How much do you want it, and how far do you want to take it? And I always have a conversation with my younger brother. I said to him, when you are playing for Sundowns, there's nothing new that you are bringing to the team, because we have seen this happening before.
True.
It's like when you play for Sundowns and you win the league and you start being cocky.
No,
you can't.
We've been doing that.
We have been doing that. You know what I mean, Vila? We have won trophies before.
Yeah.
And you can't be cocky because we win in triple now. No, we've seen the team winning triple even before us. You can't be cocky when the team is winning the league or the Champions League. We have seen the Champions League before.
Back to back.
So we have seen the Club World Cup before. So you are in a team that is winning. For you is to give performances for as long as you are here. And with that, I spoke about maturity. The players have realized that they can't be cocky, they can't be anything but the best of them to be in the team that is successful. Let me give you an example. You go to Real Madrid when they won the triple Champions League in do you want to tell me that Casemiro would say, no, I brought the Champions League there? No, he found the Champions League there.
Another thing,
Yeah.
the story continues.
Yeah.
The story continues.
The line that I wanted to choose. The story will continue regardless. You know what I mean?
I like
so it brings me joy to see these boys consistently performing in that.
It's like they're getting better and better.
But I guess it goes back to what Vila is talking about.
The story continues.
You found the story, you want to continue with it. When you live in this club, you want to say, I've contributed to that story.
I like what you say. You also mentioned an issue of goals, and this guy scored so many goals.
When
we were going like this, he knew that when he does this, the league is gone.
There was this other one besides that one, the handshake.
The handshake.
You guys were showing off.
Let me tell you about that one. It was.
I want to know.
Okay.
That's it.
no man, why are you doing this thing? I also want to join. It was like, I want to join. I don't know. It just saw it as a very nice.
But it was
gesture.
nice.
But it
was
was
a nice
nice.
touch.
The moment, I mean, they're also playing at home, able to score beautiful goals. I think the most part of it was just scoring beautiful goals, and coming to scoring those beautiful goals needed, a bit of handshake and so on. Congratulations. That was a beautiful goal. Then you continue with the job.
I didn't understand that one.
It was just it
was
just
a beautiful
happened. It
one.
was just heat of the moment. Anything that happens, but also he was envying the nice things. So he wanted to be part of it as a group. So as a group, it brought us closer. As a group, when he scored beautiful goals, we used to celebrate.
Maybe let me ask you, how as a striker, as a forward, like Iki scored a beautiful goal after quite some times he was not playing, he was not scoring. How does it feel to finally score and and celebrate?
A sense of relief because of you stayed patient also, and through the process you're still doing the right things. Because what was important for him, for Rangers, was to stay patient. Because of the goals were coming to us at the start of the beginning, but then of course in the middle it became so dry. But he was still doing the right things, making the right runs, breaking the lines, putting himself in those scoring opportunities. But he remained with those principles of staying in the game, staying alive, and continue to believe. Because of also the hunger still stays there. Because eventually it will fall for you. But also still doing the good things, which is assisting. The beauty for me with Iki Reyners, what his game has improved on is the level of assisting. I mean, having to put the ball between the legs. I mean, when I look at him, it's like he cannot do that. Yeah. He cannot do it. He doesn't have that in his arsenal.
Yeah.
But he did it, and it shows the level of maturity of his game improving, and the players around him able to stimulate that.
Can I ask, does it mean as a striker you grow with games and as you age you become matured in front of goals?
One, you grow with so much confidence. Two, the surroundings also of the group able to help you, finding you, because you can make those runs, but then if there's no Allende able to put you through, you won't be able to. You can continue, but for him also consistently making those runs, eventually that one will come in, and also having to hold the line, and it's so quick. You found it so many times whereby you'll be like asking yourself, but Reyners, you shouldn't be doing that because of you're so quick. Just stay on the line, able to make those runs, time them perfectly. Because if he stays on the line nicely, he's always going to edge them. He's got that diversity, he's got that speed, which is, I think, it's one arsenal that he should keep within his, and also able to break in. And then also you find so many strikers whereby they break in and get there.
But the finishing
is so poor.
When you talk about finishing, the goal he scores, it brings him to 10. Now he's 3 goals behind Ribeiro, who is the current leading goal scorer. That tells you that in the team we've got the competition is actually within.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what I've noticed is most of the goals or some of the goals that Iki scores, Lucas assisted. Some of the goals that Lucas scored, Iki assisted. So how does it then it really comes back to what you were saying about maturity.
Yeah.
It's not about me, it's about the bench.
You know, it reminds me of what? Remember the strikers that we had when Vila joined, we found Kama, Percy, Castro. Amongst them, they had so many goals. Yeah. And
you don't even know who's the top goal
yeah.
scorer.
But the fun part about that was to see them, even when you see them discussing, they're discussing with a smile.
Yeah.
And you ask yourself, okay, these people are fighting for one position, but they're smiling and they're finding joy in helping in one another. And I look at this, the same thing. The story continued. The story has continued from what the generation that we were in to this one now. Look at Ike. If he's not playing, when he see Peter's dropping his head, he's the first one to say, Peter, come pick him up. You see that run, you're supposed to bend it like this. The ball was going to find you here. And the same with Ribeiro. He's doing the same. Ike, do this, I'll find you here. And that, obviously, you will find goals coming from each angle. And that helps when you find strikers who can play for one another.
Speaking of a striker, which I was not too sure if then Sales is a striker or a number 10 in my eye.
Yeah.
But then him having to have that dimension also and the flexibility of moving from a number 9
to
whereby
number 10.
as a number 10 I'd be floating there. You'd say, you can argue and say it's a false 9 or whatever, but you're still an attacker. You know where to be when we attacking. You know where you need to be in those areas as a number 10 or as an attacker. But him also able to be very flexible now.
Yeah.
coming off short, and then when he comes off short, if the defender comes with him, it's able to open up space. Reyners is able to be smart, and also he's got that ball. I mean that pass from him
reminds me of how we played 2-3 seasons without a striker.
Yeah.
We had Vila as a number 9,
And
we had Leo as a number 9, we had Gaston as a number 9.
Yeah.
That's why I'm laughing.
And I want to
see
ask
you
with that, Vila, because now you are used to operate in the crowded space.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they say, Vila, you've got a capability of running behind. and what is the adjustment like? How do you adjust from being somebody who's always busy on the ball to somebody who's been now isolated?
And at
What is the
times,
mindset?
sometimes also, Kenny, I think it was different for me because I always like to face, the attack, turn and then face.
Now
the
you
attack.
are-
Now
you have
I've
the
got
back
my
to the goal.
my back, on my goals. Now I'm able to like how then, but also now I'm smart enough also now to understand that okay, you had your CBD, you had your Kama, you had your Castro. I see what. Especially Kama, I would see Kama what he's doing. Especially when then he wants to go to the defenders. He goes to the defenders, but sometimes they'll tell you about in and out.
Yeah.
So I'm learning also. I'm like, okay. If then I was naive not to even learn from them, then I would have never coped. But one thing.
that word naive.
Also wait.
Yeah.
You will be really naive also, no? Because you need to learn. You need to. These guys have the book, and they will give it to. This is the book. This is how we play. And I want to, because of also I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
If then that situation presents itself, I'm not gonna be like, and then what am I gonna do? Already I know for sure we have this guy with the
Did you
skill.
just open page 19?
Keke
to
has,
see this,
Keke has this skill in fit.
in-
And I'd hear this. When Keke has the ball, make eye contact in and he'll put you through.
you will
I
find-
saw you didn't understand what is that.
No, I didn't understand, but I had to listen. And Percy also saying, in, out. Okay, what are you speaking
In,
about?
out.
Time and space, he has time. Then you know what? Bring the defender and then spin. So that even didn't need what speed. Because you know what? You're dodging you're being
line,
smart.
offside, yeah.
Because I want him in and then I want that space behind. So which was just game speed for me. And once I'm in front of you, then now I use my body. I'm going to use my body, put everything in front, and I'm blocking your way.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use my intelligence because of that on its own.
You can't coach that.
I can't coach
You've
that.
got it.
There you can't coach.
But
It comes
the,
with
the secret is that pass is secret is
secret is the weight of the pass. Secret is the eye contact. Me and
timing
you,
of the
the
run.
timing of the run, breaking the line. Because I used to.
And
that,
also the
that name
finishing.
used to also bore me at time.
Yeah.
Break the line, break the line. And I want to play. But also, you know what? That made my game even bigger. My package became even bigger. So now I'm not only one player that can come short and play. I'm one player whereby I'm able to give you that shot and then behind.
Can we say Iki? He's got the same thing now.
Yes.
Because I saw him when he plays as wider player. He can come and play here and control the ball. And I was like, Iki,
was
I
a
don't know where I used to watch you from. I never knew you had that in your Arsenal. He's using Arsenal. But not Arsenal, yeah.
But also, I think you should also be applauding to, of course, the coaching. Because there is coaching that happens there.
A lot of
There's coaching that are able to go in there and say, look, I can see what you have. And I can also add to a game. Because of his saying, I myself, I was like, Reyners, in between tight spaces, I will like close my
never
eyes.
thought he
I'll
had
close
it.
my eyes when it comes in inside.
Until I saw him at training in the small sided
Yeah.
way, I saw him controlling it and playing it, controlling it. That's why I saw like, okay.
Well,
we have
I've
this.
watched him closer. I know that he can play as a 10.
Yeah.
He can play as a 10.
Sure.
And how he adjusts from, because he's a quick player. And quick players don't like to play in. You remember they used to say we can't pass Kama when he's coming to deep. It's because, why laughing?
Number one, let's go, don't give
When I complain like Kama, did you know that?
No, don't give
No, on the opposite is like, why don't you give him?
No,
But
no,
why? Why? There's a why.
No, he's gonna turn there.
I wanted to tell you that, but you laugh.
He's gonna turn there.
I know.
If they take it, we're in trouble.
I know for sure.
Yeah.
So that's why, because he has seen so much evident of
Yeah.
the ball being lost over there. So
Yeah,
he
it's
learned.
because with Kama, the thing is he controls with the starts. And
Yeah,
when
so-
you and when you come running, you can't control with the start. But he used to do that.
He used to do it,
And the moment when he get it right, we in the game.
yeah, it's a
100%.
goal.
You know what I mean?
100%.
But I don't think he was suitable to play there when you control like that. We wanted somebody who will secure that. For sure you're going to secure that. Because we're out of position. We send so many players up front with full backs that are higher
I
up.
was always gonna
So you
be
can't
high.
lose the ball.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know?
Yeah.
So when I see Iki with that element, That helps for the team. You must watch him every time he comes shorter. The defender says, okay, we know that you are selling us bait. You don't want to go there. But when he comes here, he controls. He's able to pick the pass.
But can I bring a funny element there?
Yeah.
If then Kama loses the ball over there, of course, he's trying to structure an attack. But then, of course, at the same time, when he loses it on the other side, I'm laughing because of then Sugar now needs to do his job. You know why I'm laughing?
I know, I read it quick. That was my guy. The guy had my bonus.
So then I do a
That
mistake.
was
He
my
needs to
guy.
cover that. We know this is duties.
That was
Everybody knew
So
their
Marcelo
duties.
has
Of course,
to cover.
not because of I
When
lose
I
it
must
cheaply,
come into
Yeah.
but of course I'm trying out something that doesn't come out the way I want it to.
And
be.
we'll talk about later, even after the match, because we don't
But
have time.
it brings sugar up a bit and say, dude, now you know you have to go do your job over there. He understands
Break
his
away.
role also. Break it up, do whatever that you need to do. But we have cover because of what I'm saying is that within that attack, within what we're trying to do, you're always gonna have cover because of you are attacking, but also at the same time you scheming at the back and say if then this thing goes wrong, how are we
What's gonna
going to
happen? How we
put
gonna come about
water into this thing? How can we put this thing down?
Yeah.
So there is something funny about their celebration that you always did.
Yeah,
I don't know if
There's man on man.
there's a man
Ah,
behind this guy. So the win puts us 12 points clear.
Yeah.
We've all been in this space before, whereby we led by a margin, we led by a very good number of points. What advantages can you just re-emphasize that gives the club and the assurance of the League One, and also at the moment that the team is still leading like that, the boys are still consistent.
Yeah.
They're still giving 100%.
Sugar, with the current form, I don't see them dropping the points. No. Sugar, like Vila spoke about the roles in the team. And in a big team, team players that last longer is the ones that understand their roles very well. The team that played over the weekend could tell that what they wanted to do and their roles are. We speak about Tashrik, we speak about Lucas, we speak about Iki now, Alende in the midfield, Koza at the back. These are the players that we will easily mention, and they hardly been mentioned. But those are the players that I always believe that they carry that piano, in a sense that you rely on them when it's difficult. When it's difficult, you want them to come up and show. With the buffer that the team is having in terms of the points, it gives them the advantage to explore certain things that they will want to use coming season or the matches that are coming, because they still Club World Cup.
Of course, 100%.
There is a page 4. We all know what's there. Page 4 is you have to flip the pages quickly. Get into that, because the details that are there.
Don't give people secrets. Page 4.
Let me just say
in our
page
book is fine.
Don't give away the
Don't
answer.
give away the answer.
so that I'm sure some players that are coming, and certain things, certain movements that I would say I wanted to run behind Vila in some matches and I couldn't, because we maybe want to secure the points, we secure the lead. When you have a 12 points, you can still have to maybe shuffle shift it
You've
around,
got that
because you
platform.
can do that and
You can
explore certain
You
things.
can still do those pattern of plays, able to make other players understand their
Integrate
roles,
new players
give
in the
them
system.
confidence.
Yeah.
I think for me, the hunger stayed really, really high from the boys.
Yeah.
And what I liked also is like having to have other players also coming in, because of there's a bit of rotation that was happening.
Yeah.
But also even those guys, when you give them, the stick, the baiting,
they don't drop.
They don't drop.
Yeah.
They don't drop. Dennis comes in, does the job. It doesn't concede zero behind. Consistency of that at the back. Koza comes in. It has been a bit of coming in and coming out, but still within that performance, he doesn't show that there's a gap, that he's been absent. You come in also in the midfield, solid. That rotation between Mugena and Alene stays solid. The rhythm between them, so me, that that you see that 8. I have it there. I have it there.
Are you
Scanning, what's scanning?
Are you scanning? Are you a 6 now?
I'm looking at 8 and 6 where previously I'd see the 8 and 6 able to have that relationship.
Yeah.
How sugar man.
No, akunyaki. Akinyaki one name. Two touch, sugar, two touch.
I'll leave his secrets. I'll say. He's like Tabello.
One day we'll open the textbook of Mamelodi Sundowns and we'll give them page now.
True. There's players that you can want them.
Sugar, clean up. But then of course, him also able to receive information. You want him to be better.
Yeah.
He wants it to be better. It can only come out nicely when we also be able to I receive also. Regardless, I receive. Doesn't matter. I receive because we are one team that's looking for one goal and consistency and the energy. And also having to have that relentless. Guys are very relentless.
Yeah.
And as I say, I like when the group is scoring so many goals up front and everybody's getting that opportunity. Because of it can come to a Ribeiro, he puts it away. It can come to Reyners, he puts it away. It can come to Sales, he puts it away. It can come to Peter, he puts it away. Also now the addition of a new Mshishi, because it's a sense of life, it's a lease of life for him. Having to see him moving in, making those touches, it's so nice, man. It's refreshing. Piano, for sure, piano is always gonna be.
There's those who
bear it.
There's those who carry it, and there are those who play it.
You know what, you were carrying it.
I was carrying it, and
the players who were playing.
So also to continue,
yeah,
when you're playing at home with the record of not losing, as you say at KK, I think the most powerful thing is that you want the team to continue with that momentum.
Yeah.
Because you don't really want to lower the standard. Because you know for sure there are certain games that are still coming as a bigger picture, but then it comes game by game. But you really want to continue with that masterclass performance.
That's
the
true.
Intensity.
That's true.
If I had 13 sprints the previous game, I want to take it as far as 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to drop.
And you know why? It's that causes by the fact that there was a bar that has been set. Yeah. And as a team, these boys, they've set the bar very high for themselves.
Yeah.
So when they are there, they can't drop it any further. If they're in, there will be challenges in some matches. So those matches, there will be those who will push you back, and simply because they interrupt your play.
Yeah.
They don't want you to play your passing line, your performance, your patterns of passing. There will be those teams.
And just to add on that, you think that game with Cape Town City, it was easy. It wasn't easy.
It was a difficult
The breakthrough goal came around about 34 minutes.
Yeah.
It shows the element also that Cape Town City doesn't want to concede.
The
resistance was there. It was so
because
difficult.
They're
They're down there.
I'll give you an example about the match. Remember the match that you won us the penalty in Polokwane in the old Putita Mutala Stadium?
Yeah.
Remember how bumpy that pitch was? And it was difficult because we were coming from
a lot of games
and a good run.
Injuries.
The good run, we won the difficult matches.
Yeah.
And then we go to Polokwane. Do you know how difficult mentally that match was?
Training.
We tried to training.
Because
Because firstly, the pitch is not
suitable.
They love to use the word conducive of late.
Conducive.
Then it means the team will push you back because some
It was a small field.
pocket.
And then now, it brings us to our game. There's no space behind. What needs to happen? The number 10. I want my number 10. I want my number 10. That's how the game came about.
Yeah.
Combination.
We are
They
playing.
played narrow towards the goal. We're able to put those combinations, and then of course, then you need your individual brilliance to see that. Okay, now it needs to unlock. Take a defender, and the defender there, I could see he was going to reach out.
Find what?
Find the solution.
And I could see the defender there trying to reach out, and I could say, okay, I'm going to use his tackle because he can't reach the ball. Now it means you have to be smart because of the defenders are so fragile, and you know for sure also they'll tell you hands behind. Everyone is so fragile there. But as an attacker, I'm like, that's where I want you. That's where I want you.
We are playing a team for the first time this season. The last time we played them, it was in March 2024.
Sure.
In the previous season, our game against them was postponed due to our CAF responsibilities and our schedule on the other side of football in the continent. We are playing cheaper. For the first time this season, we have not played them yet. We are going towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yet is the first game. And the last time we played, we won 2-0. How do you then approach the game where else you don't know the strength of the team this season? The only reference you have against them is last season in March. How do you then approach a game like this?
Luckily, the team has a rhythm, a momentum. And luckily, we're playing in the league where footages are everywhere. The last match when they played against Supersport, they lost the match. Which for me, I'm sure, the analysts, Dennis used to call them spies. The analysts now they understand where the team can be had.
Yeah.
You good, buddy? Yeah. Man, we are working. They don't get much off.
and then now you're on the rhythm.
Yeah, I was talking.
Continue with the rhythm.
So I was talking about that the footages are everywhere. The spies will dig deep in terms of finding the weaknesses of this Chippa United side. And if you watch the match closely, because I've had the privilege of watching the match, I've seen where they shot in terms of how they line up their team. So with that being said, the team will easily look at those moments. And obviously, when you have this momentum, we always have to remember. They used to be, before the match, we used to watch the good things that we normally do.
Yeah.
Those are the reference of saying, regardless of who we're playing against, we're still Mamelodi Sundowns. And we mustn't forget that we're still Mamelodi Sundowns, and we still have our capability of winning football matches. So we're going into that knowing very well that we need to respect this opponent.
100%.
But we did well from where we come from.
100%.
This is the continuity of other fixtures that are still coming, and we have to take care of these 90 minutes. And these 90 minutes need the same maturity that I spoke about. The roles will be played, the numbers of runs that the runners have to make those runs to create moments for us. The passers of the ball have to be there. But it will be very, very interesting how they take this one, because this is a difficult match.
There's a line that we're all familiar with, especially when you speak about what you just said now, is don't drop the ball.
he was laughing when I was speaking. Maybe
Don't drop the ball.
Why don't
No, hey, Phil, you kill this thing.
Yeah.
Don't drop the ball.
No. Also, you don't want to kill the momentum. You know the guy.
Yeah.
You know the guy. You'll always emphasize, of course. If then you have the opportunity, just kill it. It might not happen in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It might not happen in the next 20 minutes, but you keep on persisting.
Yeah.
You know, what's more important also is the persistence. Because of also teams like Chippa, as you said, Keke, you need to put respect.
Yeah.
Because of if then you have to undermine your teammates, then you have a big problem. A big problem. Also, you don't now appreciate the game, and also you know for sure the game is bigger than us.
Yeah, sure.
The game is bigger than. If you don't have the respect for it, somehow it's gonna turn its back on you
When you need it the
really want to
most.
be on there.
Yeah, I know.
So you have to take care of these things of then, of course, watching them, looking at how you're going to penetrate them, looking how then also you have to stop them in terms of certain moments, because there will be moments whereby they'll say, I'm asking you a question.
Yeah.
With that question, do you answer? Because of it's a game. It's a game. It has an attack. It has a defense. But within that, as Mamelodi Sundowns, you want to, of course, take the majority of the game and have possession of it.
Yeah.
Give yourself a chance to keep on poking, get to the bar, do the cutbacks.
Yeah.
Always giving them problems more than them giving, especially playing at home.
Yeah.
So yes, key. Respect Chippa United, but at the same time focus on what you did. Do those things, gather that information that you did the last game, show the boys that these are the things that you were doing last game. And so maybe some of the guys were not even aware of the things that they do, like
the
Reynard's even to put the ball through the legs.
legs.
You'll be like, I
sharper
can
shot.
do that.
Let me go again.
Then do it again.
Yeah.
You know, Ribeiro also, you still want him also to be persistent. You still want him to be that, because for me, he's one player, man, that stimulates the beauty of football. You know, he just plays it so beautiful. And for me, I still want him also to, at this level, continue.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, continue.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen, show Sugar that if then I lost it, I'm going to cover Sugar.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight for it. Then also that stimulates
We'll fight
to
after
Sugar.
we fix the
After,
problem.
you know what I'm saying? So with those principles, you know, protect, of course, your own your own field, your own fortress.
Yeah.
Protect it. It's yours. Continue with the momentum. Continue with the persistence. Continue with the hunger.
Hey, Refir. Rivaldo Kozie.
Sham, you wearing boots. You wearing boots. Doing what?
Nice predator, though.
Good to see you back, man.
Nice predator.
It's about time, man.
But you know me well.
And you know me well.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Or a topic that I'd like us to discuss just before we wrap up the episode, and it's very aligned because the both of you are much experienced in that space. We are coming to the end of the season. Vila, you've won the Football of the Year before. Keke, you've been nominated so many times. I don't even know how many times. And it's like in a row, you're always there amongst the top consistent people that have always been there throughout our time together. This issue of football of the year, who would you say are the leaders in terms of it? For me, it's difficult because in our team we've got so many players who did so well this season, and now is that time where, as much as Mamelodi Sundowns, we focus more on the team accolades, but there's a time where we need to also appreciate the great individual performances that have been done throughout the season.
We can't take away the efforts of these boys, and I always say reward the excellence. You know, people who have put themselves out there week out, match in, match out. Those are the people that you need to reward them, man. And at times, of course, we don't do justice to the players that consistently putting themselves in those positions. You know, because we don't know what the criteria is. But I don't mind, I don't care much about the criteria. All I care about is, can we see and recognize the players that have consistently doing that in difficult conditions, in matches that were difficult, even when you see this person, he's not 100%, but he still push between those difficult conditions. And I'll give you an example. When Sundowns took a trip to Polokwane where they played against Marquez United. If you remember, Marquez scored first. You see, when after that match, I told you that this team is going to win the league. If you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
It was because I saw how difficult that match was. Emotionally, not the play. Emotionally, to take it. Because the frustration was, I know I can play that pass, but not today. Because the pitch doesn't allow me to. Or the team is pushing me back to do that. Now the block is too deep.
Too deep, yeah.
Now the emotion part of it says, I will stay focused in that. But it takes a different breed of players
100%.
to know that in difficult conditions, we're still better than the situation. We're still a team that can win difficult matches. And when I see players doing that week in, week out, guys, the criterion is to fall out, and let's reward the team that has won the trophy, the league. Because
let's be honest,
I think also to give you some form of, to back it up.
Yeah,
the team has won it with incredible numbers, right? And one thing that I can highlight what you just said, Wenekeke, is that greatness. Applaud greatness, especially now. I'll break it down to now. If then greatness shows you numbers in terms of assist, allow it. If then he's superior with assist, allow it, because of it deserves it.
Yeah,
he's far superior than the other ones, because of the numbers are there. If the numbers are there, then what more do you still want? Do you want images? If then you want images to show you how
take
those
the camera,
give you those numbers also. I think for me the one thing I like to highlight is when someone is having an outstanding season throughout with consistent performance, allow it also. Also you will set the bar. When people then they set the bar, then for sure that we cannot go below that bar. If then you have to get it, it has to be above. Because I don't want to fall in the same category. I want to go above and above and above. And also you remember these people also, what you see here on the screen it's what you see, but also there's still things that they do besides the scenes. And also that's why I'm saying those things that they do, they should continue with them. Because then with that, it's able to show where in the field of play. So I'm saying if then the numbers are there, assists are there, goals are there, defending, give it, because of it's there. Particularly when even the team has won it, with so much great numbers.
Please allow it to be.
Can I say something?
Yeah, feel free.
You mentioned it throughout the whole episode today, and I think it's the word of the day. Continue the story. So we've had a continuation of the story. We've had Yotemba as the footballer of the year. We had Peter.
Beautiful.
We had Tebza. We had Ronza. Continue the story. Continue. Beautiful. Continue the story. Beautiful. Masandawana, there you have it. This is another episode with the legends, the great footballers of our time, and the great footballers that inspire the next generation. Masandawana Kabu Yellow, let's continue to support the boys. These last few games, my team needs me. # my team needs me. Let's come to the stadium. re supporteng bafana ba re bethe sigupu re opeleng hoiwa waya ka boyelo Masandawana. Remember to like, subscribe and share. Tell somebody for the Pitchside Podcast, the latest news every time at Mamelodi Sundowns. Paramisu 7.
We are Masandawana forever.